Candlepin Stars and Strikes is brought to you by the Thompson family of dealerships in Nashua, New Hampshire, and by Tri-State Megabucks and the New Hampshire Lottery, helping New Hampshire schools one ticket at a time. WNDS Sports presents Candlepin Stars and Strikes, featuring the best candlepin bowlers from all over New England. And now, in our 18th season, here's your host for Candlepin Stars and Strikes, Dick Lutz and Mike Moore.
Hello again, everybody, and welcome into another edition of Candlepin Stars and Strikes on WNDS TV from Leda Lanes in Nashua, New Hampshire. Dick Lutz with Mike Morin. Great to have you with us. And over the course of the next 4 weeks, our second ladder series will feature some familiar names to you, and we have some newcomers as well.
We do. The familiar name is Mike Morgan, and actually Bobby Betancourt, who's the number 3 seed. Mike Morgan is number 1, but we have one new bowler and a couple of very young guys. 3 out of the 5 bowlers under the age of 21. So we're going to feel really old the next few weeks, Dick.
Let's meet our bowlers in our first ladder series match this afternoon. First, our number 5 seed from Tewksbury, Massachusetts, young Jeff Surette.
And this is his television debut. Comes from a very well-known bowling family in Massachusetts, the Surettes. His father, Tom, is here today. Jeff's average is 124. High single is 187. High triple 460. And does his bowling pretty much where he grew up at Candlewood Lanes in North Reading, Mass.
And he rolled a 646 to earn the number 5 seed in this ladder series, and he'll be taking on our number 4 seed from Methuen, Massachusetts, Dave Hodge.
Dave Hodge is here, and this is his second appearance on WNDS TV. He is from Melrose, average of 127. High single 183. He's got a high triple of 452, and not only does he bowl that, but he is part owner of Melrose Bowl. We'll tell you more about that just ahead.
Let's get right to it. Our first match coming right up from Leda Lanes in Nashua, New Hampshire. We continue with Candlepin Stars and Strikes on WNDS TV. We'll be right back. There you see the 5 bowlers that will begin this series, our second ladder series of the season. Top seed Mike Morgan. Waiting in the wings, our first match this afternoon featuring Jeff Surette and Dave Hodge with Bob Betancourt and Jeff Bugia as we climb the ladder. And we're ready to go with this afternoon's match. And 5th seed Jeff Surette will be first to bowl here at Leda Lanes in Nashua, New Hampshire. So Jeff Surette will be stepping to lane 34, and we're ready to roll. Another great crowd on hand at Leda Lanes in Nashua. They arrive early in the morning and they stay all day for our taping sessions. It's just great to see them, and they have such a wonderful time, and it's just a great group of people. And we're ready to begin our match, and Jeff Surette's first ball, a half Worcester.
First ball on television.
The one he'll remember.
It can only go uphill from here, my friend. Gave it a nice shot. Should come out with at least a 9 fill for his very first bowling frame on television at the tender young age of 18.5 years old.
And he starts off with an 8 frame. Jeff is a freshman at Worcester State College. Did I ever tell you that I was from Worcester?
I've never heard that
Never
before.
heard that. At Worcester State College is right across the street from what used to be Chandler Street Junior High School, which is where I matriculated.
You did what? It's the 6-pin for Jeff Surette.
First mark of his television career for Jeff Surette from Tewksbury, Massachusetts. That eases the butterflies somewhat, I'm sure.
Well, guess who the most nervous person in the building is right now?
His dad.
His dad, that's right. Spoke to him just before the match. Very nervous.
Dave Hodge.
You've got kids, you know what it's like to watch them perform in either, you know, art things or athletics.
Dave Hodge is the TV veteran. He's been on once. And then he starts out with a spare.
You know, one thing that's amazed me, this is our 5th season, Dick, you and I doing it, is how unaffected the first-time bowlers seem to be. They don't embarrass themselves.
Dave Hodge right on the nose for the mark. Interesting point to make early in the match here is that our 2 bowlers this afternoon, one 18 years old, of course, that being Jeff Surette, and Dave Hodge, 21 years old. You talk about the demographics of bowling. For those of you advertisers out there who may be wondering what your market is, who your market is, who you may be reaching or trying to reach with your message, look at what you're seeing right here in 2 young professional athletes, 18 years old and 21 years old, both college students. One goes to Worcester State, one goes to Suffolk University. One an entrepreneur to boot, as well as going to school. Dave Hodge, a partner in the proprietorship of the bowling alley in Melrose.
Imagine being 21 and being part owner of a bowling center as he is. His partner is Steve DeMeo. That's a good out for Jeff Surette. His father, Tom, a very well-known professional candlepin bowler, primarily from a decade ago or earlier. He told me, appeared on Channel 50 before you and I became a part of the show in 1997. So folks have seen him on the old Channel 5 show, and his brother as well. So the Surette bowling family has been one to be reckoned with over the years. Nice people.
You've got two bowling families going at it here today. You've got Dave Hodge, who's in the bowling business as well.
Jeff has to take a re-rack. He was missing a pin, by the way, in case you're wondering why the delay.
So I think it's great to see the youth coming into the game, the enthusiasm coming into the game, and the future of the game looks bright.
It does, and these are polite, well-spoken young men, as you pointed out, both in college, both with terrific futures ahead of them, both in bowling and business.
Second mark for Jeff Surette.
Both slapping each other 5 on spares. A pure pleasure to watch them. A bit more seasoning, though, next week is Bob Betancourt, who's been on our show. It's been a couple of years. The policeman from the North Shore of Boston will be here to take on the winner of this match today.
Looking for some bonus money is Dave Hodge. Puts 9 in the mark. This is a $50 shot coming up. We give $50 for 3 consecutive marks. Our triple strike jackpot. There's $50 right on the money. 3 marks in a row. No doubt about that at all. He was right on it all the way. The triple strike jackpot has $600 in it. 3 strikes in a row is worth $600.
High single of the day between the two bowlers is another $50. Cash provided by Lita Lanes, Ray Simino and his staff.
So we're ready to give away a few bucks here this afternoon.
We have another missing pin on lane 33.
And so another re-rack coming up.
I do believe that we've got a mechanic on the scene back there who's finding out what the difficulty is. All the years that we've done the show here on the same pair of lanes, it's incredibly rare that we have anything ever malfunction. The lanes are well kept. As you can see, the pins are almost brand new.
And now we're getting ready to rack them up one more time.
You know what a bowling pin costs these days?
I don't know. What, $50 maybe?
No, not that much. I think $17.
Oh, okay, all right.
But you've got at least 20, I think 21 pins in a rack, so you're talking $350 times 36.
There you see the missing pin once again. So obviously a problem with lane 33, and they'll try to get that squared away.
Yeah, these things never happened back in the days of manual pin setters, did they, Dick?
They forget to put a pin up every once in a while. Maybe they did.
Only when their buddies were up there. Actually, this doesn't make it an easier shot. You'd rather have the 4 pin in there. So we'll do another re-rack.
And let's see if it comes down this time. If not,
you'll hear a round of applause if it does.
There it is.
Do we know this crowd or what?
A standing O for the pins. Now, right on it again. Another 9 drop.
Well,
3 mark, 3 spares, and all filled with 9s.
What a great start for Dave Hodge. Do you think he gets to practice much now that he's a part owner of a bowling center?
Probably not. Now another mark, another $25.
Well, Jeff Surette is not bowling badly, but Dave Hodge is bowling superbly, and he's got a 25-pin lead over Jeff Surette.
4 marks in a row. Surette, he's on the head pin. He answers with a strike. Watch it one more time. Right in the 1-3 pocket for Jeff Surette. And another problem with the pin setting on lane 33. So we will have to contend with that for the moment as you watch Jeff Surette's strike. 3 marks in 5 frames for Surette. 4 marks in a row for Hodge. Both bowlers warming to the occasion here in our first match of our second ladder series. Gary Santora, the winner of our first ladder series. Hodge right on the head pin that time, spread eagle. Working on a strike, 1 more ball to fill the strike.
Seems very calm and composed for his first time on TV.
Threw it right through the middle, so he'll put only 4 in the strike.
Now he's got to go for at least a 7 fill, hopefully more.
He'll take a 6 blocks. That hurts.
Well, the bonus money continues to pile up now for Dave Hodge, looking for his 5th consecutive mark.
Dave Hodge, 21 years old, a junior at Suffolk University, majoring in management. Oh, right on the headpin, and a very thin hit that time. Puts just 3 in the spare.
So we've got a cluster over on the right side, the 4 and 7 on the left, with some wood in front of the 4-7.
So his streak of consecutive marks will come to an end at 4. And a 6 blocks.
So suddenly, Dick, in completed frames, the distance is now down to 10 pins.
We mentioned that Dave Hodge is the new co-owner of Melrose Bowl with Steve DeMeo. He's also a shift supervisor at CVS while he's attending Suffolk University. So he has a full plate at the tender young age of 21 years old. You can see he is a very determined young man.
He'll make his first million by 30, just a couple years ahead of you.
But I did it when $1 was $1.
Yeah, that's right. That's a good point.
That will be a mark for Dave Hodge. He starts a new streak.
I was looking back at our records. Dave Hodge was on with us, I believe, 2 years ago. Let me check here. Yeah, January of 2000. Back then, Dick, he was averaging 116. So I think being involved with the bowling centers really helped his average up.
Beautiful strike for Jeff Surette. That took about no time flat for those pins to go down. Watch it one more time and watch. They all go down in unison. Boom, they're gone.
Chance to throw a double strike right here.
Back live, Jeff Surette, right on the head pin again, a little too full. Couldn't break up the split.
Of course, he had the spread eagle last time on 33 following a strike.
3, 6, 10 on the right, 4 on the left. Gave it a good run, puts 9 in the strike.
If I'm not mistaken, he bowled with us back in February when we were at Pilgrim Lanes for the fundraiser. I think he was one of the bowlers there that day.
Could very well be.
People saying, you watch, he's going to be on your show one of these days. And
he's one of the ones who made it.
Yes, sir. Ongoing roll-offs here at Leda Lanes for those who'd like to try their hand at getting on Candlepin Stars and Strikes.
And if you'd like to know more about the schedule of roll-offs, give Leda Lanes a call at 603-889-4884. 603-889-4884. And they'll be happy to fill you in on the schedule. They are going on throughout the year.
It's a 7-10 split with lots of wood on the deck.
This goes. There's wood angled nicely for it. Oh, he didn't take advantage of it, though. And a 10 box. Pretty tight match. 13 pins box to box right now. I look at these averages of some of the bowlers coming in. Here's a strike for Hodge. That one was right in the pocket, too, and they all went down in unison. Watch it again. This was like Surette's. They were gone in a matter of seconds.
Oh, man.
You've heard of slow-mo replay. We show the extra high-speed replay. Here's Surette off the head pin that time for one of the few times in the first string.
He'll catch a bit of a break, leaving the 4 horsemen and a sleeper, the 8 pin in the back, along with a 1, 2, 4, and 7.
Nice spare for Jeff Surette. Well done.
That is the textbook way to make that spare. Put your ball between the 1 and the 2.
Watch it again for Jeff Surette. Here comes the ball right in the pocket. Now on the spare, right through the middle.
And the 3rd frame in a row, Dick, that he's punched out on 33, filling a mark.
That's the spread eagle +1 with a sleeper in the back.
Well, he'll come up with somewhere around a 120 or just a little bit better than that for his debut on television. A little bit under his 124 average.
122 first string for Jeff Surette.
Nothing to be ashamed of.
Not a bad debut string at all.
Lots of poise for a young man of just 18 years old.
Hodge looking for 2 in a row, gave it a good run.
Didn't miss that 3-pin by very much off the wall. And he'll fill at least a 9 or 10.
He's looking for his 7th mark of the first string right here. Missed it. Has to settle for a 10 box. 133 with a box to go. Again, off the head pin, but got a good break. It's got the 1, the 3, and the 6 on the right-hand side. Missed it. Held on to it a little bit too long.
Bit of a break for Jeff Surette.
10 box, 143. Missing 2 marks in 9 and 10 that could have even given him more, but a 21-pin lead for Dave Hodge as we head to string number 2 over Jeff Surette as we continue with Candlepin Stars and Strikes from Leda Lanes in Nashua, New Hampshire on W. In Nashua, New Hampshire, you're going to be watching a promotional announcement that ran on WNDS TV last year that was presented an award by the NHAB.
That's right. It was a Golden Mike Award, and congratulations to Kevin LaFond, who wrote and produced this thing with you and I regarding our big grudge match last February, and the Golden Mike Award was given as a merit award. Station promotional announcement, so congratulations to Kevin LaFond, who's been a big part of Candlepin Stars and Strikes, for putting this wacky announcement together, and we just wanted to acknowledge that.
And we'll have a new award announcement to present this year when I whip you in our grudge match.
You are sounding awfully cocky, considering we've got another 5 months before this happens.
That trophy belongs back on my mantelpiece.
You're going to start the trash talking already.
Here's Dave Hodge leading off string number 2 with a strike. Picking up where he left off.
Well, I've retained Dave Hodge as my personal trainer, so I suggest you do the same.
Well, you look at Dave Hodge's first string, and you look at the 9th and the 10th boxes, 2 10s with 2 spares that were very makeable.
Yes. That
he missed, and he ended up with a 143. Could have had a 160 something, and he starts off the 2nd string with a mark.
Bit of a double dribble on that one, leaving the 4 horsemen on the left side, the 1, 2, 4, and the 7. Some wood is slowly creeping up and now appears to be frozen to the head pin.
Well, it was frozen to the head pin, but it didn't do him a lot of good. Really do want to congratulate Kevin LaFond. Great work on the promotional announcements. Kevin worked long and hard and on many promotional announcements last year for our bowling program and for the things that we did in addition to the bowling show, and those efforts proved worthwhile.
Yeah. God knows you and I aren't the 2 easiest people to work with. Prima donnas that we are. There's a nice break for young Jeff Surette.
I think I was a prima donna until I perfected my style. Watch this first ball and how close he comes.
Everything all around the 10 pin doesn't go. He's been waiting for that piece of wood to settle down, and it has.
Tough angle wood, missed it.
He was trying to cap it from the left side, hoping to kind of bank it off the sidewall, but that didn't happen.
No, that's what he was trying to do, and it wouldn't have gone anyway, so at least he finds out. WNDS welcomes Tri-State Megabucks back as a sponsor of Candlepin Stars and Strikes, and we're also proud to welcome back the Thompson family of dealerships, Nashua Mitsubishi, Nashua Daewoo, McMulkin Chevy, and Nashua Hyundai. Another 9-pin drop for Jeff Surette.
And if that wood keeps going, it's not going to help him. This time it's up against where the plate meets the lip of the lane. It's bad. Hit the wood in the channel first, which then becomes a dead ball. So it's just a 9, and he indicated by holding up 9 fingers, which is what you're trained in the junior bowling leagues to do. You have to be honest, and he did.
Now Dave Hodge on lane 34. Broke up the 4 horsemen's, got some pretty good wood out there right now to make this a relatively easy shot if he hits the head pin. Got to hit the head pin. If you don't hit the head pin, it's not going.
Yeah, he could have hit it on either side, actually. That piece of wood was very helpful at the 6 pin.
Ends up with a 9 box. Dave Hodge has been bowling for 14 of his 21 years. And he'll be bowling in the World Tournament with Hugh Ferguson, Steve Vadney, and Gary Duffett.
Yeah, it's coming up next month, Dick. Probably the most prestigious team event of the year. Bowlers all look forward to it. In fact, sometimes it costs us bowlers in terms of who can qualify for the show, because occasionally they're away the week that we do the taping.
Another 9 box for Dave. He's gone 3 boxes in a row without a mark for the first time this afternoon. Now Jeff Surette, a chance to pick up some ground.
34.
Off the head pin.
That's been his good lane so far.
He got some good action afterwards.
And the wood is not that great.
1, 6, 8, and 10 with some wood. There it goes. The wood helped out.
Made it work.
Yep. Well done for Jeff Surette. You watch it again. Really wood spraying all over the place, which really helped out a lot. Surette again, right in the pocket, right in the 1-3, breaks up the split, puts 9 in the spare, and the 10 pin still stands.
He did something on that lane which he's not been able to do today, and that's break up the split when he's been hitting, punching out. This time he leaves only the 10 pin.
Right on it. 2 marks in a row as we go to the break. Jeff Surette has eaten into some of Dave Hodge's lead as we continue from Leda Lanes in Nashua, New Hampshire. It's Candlepin Stars and Strikes on WNDS TV. Dave Hodge on lane 34. The lead now 17 pins for Dave Hodge over Jeff Surette, minus what Jeff Surette puts in his spare. Hodge with a pocket shot. Leaves just the 6 pin with a whole bunch of wood still sitting on the deck. There are 5 pieces of dead wood still on the deck. Missed it. Quite a match. The tide has changed.
Quite a match last week, Dick, as we got our first seeding for the Tournament of Champions coming up next spring. It was Gary Santora in a double overtime victory over Mike Kusha. They tied at 345. Had a roll-off frame, tied at 19, actually 2 frames, and then did a second roll-off 2-frame set, and then Santora won 30-26. So Gary Santora, count him in next spring with the Tournament of Champions.
Hodge again tries to break up the split, leaves a tough shot. He's got the 2 and the 10. Again, there is plenty of wood on the deck. Couple of pieces of wood which could help him by spraying. The 2-pin is key here. He's on the 2-pin, and he missed the spare. He thought he was going to make it.
He put it where he wanted to, I think. Got that roadblock in front of the 10 now.
And he capped it and got the 10 box. Good pinning for Dave Hodge as he's now opened 5 boxes in a row. Candlepin bowling, it's incredible how the momentum shifts. Right on the head pin, right through, breaks up the spread eagle and almost breaks up the split. 6 in the spare.
You'd like to have the wood turn a little bit more, but his only choice, I think, is to go for the 1 on the left. But boy, it's a fine touch.
He gave it the effort.
3, 6, and 10 remain. No wood in the way.
That'll be a 9 box. So he's picked up 9 pins, box to box. Missed the head pin. Leaves himself a tough shot.
It's no spread eagle, but it's still not easy. The 1, 2, 4, 9, and 10.
Look at this. Will it go?
Oh.
Almost.
So he's chipping away at the Dave Hodge lead, which began this match as 21 pins.
And it's now what? 13? 13 pin lead. Hodge on the head pin. Can he break up the split? Yes. Nicely with wood set up in front of that 9 pin, moving away from the pin, but still angled pretty well. He can play it. He's going to have to play the wood. And he will make the spare. That breaks up a streak of 5 boxes without a mark for Dave Hodge. It's just his second mark of the second string. He had a 143 in the first string. Off the head pin. But he got a break. Put 7 in the spare.
His only appearance on WNDS occurred in the mixed doubles competition a couple of seasons ago. He was paired up with Deb Regan. They were the #1 seed, by the way, and lost to Dave Crumey and Nancy Vestal, 372 to 327.
He missed the spare, leaving the head pin. A 9 box. Now Jeff Surette again, an opportunity. If he can put a couple of marks together, he can bring this match back to square one. Well, the wood is there to help him out. He's going to have to play that wood on the left, slide that over to the 4 and to the 6 and the 10 on the right, and let the ball take the 8 pin. But he threw it past it all. Everything's academic.
For those wondering, those who've been long-time television Candlepin bowling show fans, his dad is Tom Surette, who you've seen on TV many, many times. Not recently, but he is of good bowling stock, as they say. And Tom Surette, his dad, is in the audience today. It was nice to see him again. And he, well, I hope the butterflies have settled down for him, but probably not.
Jeff right in the pocket. This time he breaks up the split from Tewksbury, Massachusetts.
And Tewksbury High School. College freshman now at Worcester State.
Missed it.
You know, a chance to actually get a hold of the match. This will be his 4th frame without a mark consecutively.
And he'll take a 10 box. So Hodge's lead is back up to 21, which is where it was after the first string. Hodge right on the head pin that time, but not able to break up the split.
It's a $200 payday for the runner-up today. The winner doesn't get paid today. He moves on and advances to meet #3 seed Bob Betancourt next week. It's our second ladder.
For those of you who may not be aware, of course, my partner Mike Warren is the host of the morning show on WHOB FM radio in Nashua. Why didn't you get to wear the monkey suit?
Oh, you saw that, huh? Well, by time this airs, which is the last Sunday in October, the first Saturday in November, I don't know what the outcome is, but a month ago there was a monkey missing in the woods around Danville, a Capuchin monkey, and we did our very best to help lure him out before the cold weather got here. And of course, it's possible the monkey may have perished between when we tape this and when you're actually seeing this. So we've been trying, along with the animal control experts in that town, to flush the monkey out. But don't know how that all turns out.
One of your colleagues wore a monkey suit into the woods?
Donnie White, our evening DJ and promotional manager. We got him all set up with a monkey outfit, and he went out and basically wreaked havoc on the community of Danville. He's a character. The man knows no fear. He's from Medford, who would have guessed, huh?
Hodge finishing the second string with a mark. He's at 106 plus a ball. Threw it off the head pin, just puts 3 in the mark. A 109 second string to go with a first string of 143. 2-string total of 252. Surette with a chance to gain some ground. Oh, the wood sets up nicely for him in front of the 5 and the 9 and the spare.
There's something about shooting a spare like that, Dick, when you've got 15 inches to shoot at, which is about the size of a candlepin, the entire length of it. You just go up there with so much confidence.
Big box here.
Nice break. Look at this.
Put 9 in the mark and a chance for another one.
He's got a clean shot at it. Doesn't want to hit the tip of the pin, although it should still carry through.
He will hit the tip of the pin and make the spare. So he'll close with a double mark and a chance to tighten things up.
He throws a strike. That'd be 3 marks and $50 in bonus money.
118 plus a ball.
He's had 2 strikes today.
On the head pin, put 5 in the mark, a 123, second string for Jeff Surette. And a 2-string total of 245, a 7-pin lead for Dave Hodge as we head to the 3rd and final string of our opening match of the second ladder series of the season on Candlepin Stars and Strikes from WNDS-TV and Leda Lanes in Nashua, New Hampshire. Jeff Surette will start us off in the 3rd string. A very tight match here at Leda Lanes as Dave Hodge has a 7-pin lead over Surette, ready to go in the 3rd string. Hodge leads off with a pocket shot, leaving the 9 and the 10 with Wood in front.
6-pin went down at the last moment, leaving the split with a little bit of wood. Help him mix things up.
Jeff Surette tries to survey the situation. Surette, the 18-year-older from Tewksbury, Massachusetts, making his television debut here this afternoon. And a false start as he saw the wood move again, and he just backed up and surveyed the situation again. Watch out. Will it go? Yes, it will. Had it all the way. Watch it again. You thought for sure he missed it as the first piece of wood went flying by, but that little tip of the 9 into the 10. Now a pocket shot. No doubt about the strike there.
Sorry you missed it, folks. It was a great strike. The 6-pin was the last to go. Spare strike to start the 3rd string for Jeff Surette.
So Surette starts with a double mark, and now Hodge on the head pin. And he leaves a makeable shot.
Very helpful wood. It's a split, the 2, the 7, and the 8.
With some wood in between. Looks like it does look like it's makeable. Here it is. He got it the back door again. He made it, not the way I thought he would, but he made it. Watch it again. Watch that wood come from the right side back to take the 2-pin. So both bowlers opening with marks here in the 3rd string. And Hodge right on the head pin, a spread eagle. Puts just 4 in the spare. We are virtually even.
Dave is single. His mother is Lillian, and his girlfriend is Allison. They've been together for about 8 months. Went to Melrose High School.
Good 9 box for Dave Hodge. And now Jeff Surette with this ball, with this box, should take the lead in the match.
Yeah, it's tied actually without the fill. He gets 2 balls to fill the strike.
Look at that. He was on the head pin. They're still going. They're still moving around. The 2 and the 4. The 4 still wobbling.
Very thin hit, but somehow got a lot of reaction. And that is the 2 and the 4. The 4 has been moved forward just a bit.
And a spare $50 in bonus money for Jeff Surette.
Been mentioning that his father is Tom, his mother is Jean. He has a couple of siblings. Young brother Scott is 9, who's got an 86 bowling average. His sister is Kristen, not a big bowling enthusiast. She is 16. And some fine credentials for young Jeff Surette. International Candlepin Bowling Association Youth Tournament Canada. Last year he was the all events and doubles champion with Matt Carrington, Gary Carrington's young son. And in the year 2000, Dick, he was the all events and singles champion in Canada. So he's been building his resume as a junior bowler. Now he's a pro.
And he'll take a 9 box. He's got 65 through 4. Check it. .65 through 4 is correct. Hodge, Dave Hodge with a big strike.
These guys don't get cheap strikes, do they?
Wow, watch it again.
Boomers.
Nothing cheap about that one. Now Dave Hodge trying to come right back at Jeff Surette. Threw it past the head pin, got a good break with the pin sweeping around. He's got the 1, the 2, and the 4 with the wood between the 2 and the 4. The wood appears to be frozen to the pins. I think he's got a real good shot at it. He's got the spare. So we go to the break. Very hotly contested match with Jeff Surette and Dave Hodge at Leda Lanes in Nashua, New Hampshire. And we will take a break with the two bowlers headed down the home stretch on Candlepin Stars and Strikes on WNDS TV. Both bowlers have been red hot here in the third string. 3 marks for Jeff Surette, 3 marks for Dave Hodge. And about 10 pins separate these two fine young bowlers. Here's Surette on lane 34. He was not working on a mark. He'll be open in the 5th frame.
Winner of today's match draws Bobby Betancourt next week. 2 weeks from today, another young bowler, only 19, Jeff Bugia. And 3 weeks from today, we'll all be treated to a visit from Mike Morgan. He is the top seed in this, our second ladder series of the brand new Candlepin Stars and Strikes season.
Oh, he gets a break.
I think he'd rather have the 2-pin drop instead of the 4.
I thought they were both going to go. I started to say I thought the 1 and the 2 and the 4 were going to go, but the 2 still stood. So it's the 2 and the 7 with no wood. Not an easy shot. Threw it past the head pin, the object pin, so he didn't make the spare, so he'll be open again. Candlepin Stars and Strikes on WNDS TV. Our director today is Stacy McCutcheon. On audio is Don Cronin. The replay machine is being manned by Kevin LaFawn. On graphics, Monica Colby. Larry Taylor's on our videotape machine. The camera crew of Cheryl Sylvia, Steve Kenny, and Kevin Sheehan, all doing a great job bringing you the excitement of Candlepin Stars and Strikes from Leda Lanes in Nashua, New Hampshire. Here's Dave Hodge. He was in the pocket. He wanted more. He puts 9 in the spare.
Very similar hit to third frame where he had a strike. 6-pin went last time. It did not this time. A lot of body
Another
English.
mark. $50 more in bonus money for Dave Hodge.
He is on the verge of retaking the lead that he relinquished for just a short period of time to Jeff Surette.
Right in the pocket again on the Brooklyn side. He puts 7 more in the spare. Except for 1 3 in the spare, he's had very good mark fills. He's not going to make this spare.
Skip lob on that one, kind of lost control, leaving the 6 and the 10. But he'll still have the lead box to box through 6 in the final string.
That's going to be an 8 box. 13 pins in the match for Dave Hodge now as he's come back after Surette took the lead for a short time. Hodge with a 13-pin lead. Now this is a makeable shot for Jeff Surette. He started out the third string with 3 marks in a row, and now he's gone 3 boxes in a row without a mark. He needs to mark right here. And he does. Big pressure shot by Jeff Surette to stay in the match. And to try to put a little pressure on Dave Hodge the other way.
Product of the junior bowling leagues. If you've got a youngster who you think might be interested, this is how these guys all get started when they're just kids. Very dedicated bowlers. Some of them, I mean, they all enjoy it, but some excel more than others and become professionals, as both Jeff and Dave have.
Surette with 6 in the spare, 4 horsemen on the left. Another one, beautiful shot, perfectly done. 2 marks in a row as he picks up the 4 horsemen on the left side. And again, it does put a little pressure on Dave Hodge. Watch it again. Watch the ball go between the 1 and the 2, and the ball took them all. Now back to live action into Hodge, right through the head pin. The 1 and the 9 are the only 2 pins to go.
Very inopportune time for Hodge to do that because he's up against a couple of Jeff Surette spares in the 7th and 8th frames.
This is going to be a 6 box for Dave Hodge. He needs to mark. Otherwise, the lead will swing back to Jeff Surette or be very close to it.
It's the kind of match these guys will never forget. Really, the first singles match for Dave Hodge, although his second time. He was on the double show 2 years ago. His first head-to-head singles match.
Threw it past the head pin there. He's got the 4 horsemen plus the 9 pin. 4 horsemen on the left side. 1, 2, 4, and 7. Nope, he's going to pick up 4 of the 5 pins, leaving the head pin. So he'll be open through the 8th frame now. It's a 9 box. 102.
Look at this. A 2-pin lead. Of course, Jeff Surette has yet to fill a spare. So with 3 pins, Jeff Surette regains the lead.
Hodge leads by 2 minus whatever Jeff Surette gets on this first ball. A 6-pin lead in the match for Surette.
2 very likable young men. These guys are the future of Candlepin bowling. Get used to seeing them. They're going to be around for a while.
Oh, he picked the pin off. He does not make the spare. The door remains open for Dave Hodge.
That is one of the most cruel punishments in the game of Candlepin bowling, where you're so accurate that you have to pay the price, like chopping the spare.
125. He will force Hodge to mark. Oh, he threw that one past the head pin. Leaves himself a tough shot.
Pulled his arm in front of his body and the ball went to the left.
At the 1, the 3, the 5, the 8, and the 9.
Double wood. Double wood. Oh!
Threw it right on the head pin. Thought he was going to get better.
3, 5, and the 8. Very unusual configuration.
And a 9 box. A 134 third string for Jeff Surette. A 379 triple. A 25-pin lead over Dave Hodge. So Hodge needs 26 pins. 25 to tie. 26 to win the match. He needs a mark.
At least 1 mark and a pretty good fill. Pressure is on young Dave Hodge.
Right on the head pin and not much to show for it.
And that will likely not be his mark. He needs to pin very, very well here.
Great shot. As you say, he needs every pin. Every pin is very important. So he needs to make these 2. And then he'll need a mark and a 6. Yep, he's got the 10 box. So it comes down to the 10th frame. He needs to mark to win. A mark and a 5 ties, a mark and a 6 wins. Just that simple.
Last week we had a tie, not only after regulation, but a double sudden death roll-off, won by Gary Santhora.
Big ball here for Dave Hodge. He's on the head pin. Can he break up the split? No. Will the wood stay on the deck? Well, it stays out there, but I'm not sure how much of a factor it is. It's not much of a factor at all.
2 with this.
You've got the 2, the 6, and the 10.
Well, do you play the dead wood, hoping that it caroms off and catches the 2-pin and then comes back from the other side? Well, we'll see the mystery shot here from Dave Hodge.
That's what he's doing. He missed it.
That's what he was trying to do.
It'll be Jeff Surette advancing as Hodge gave it a run. Jeff Surette will be the winner of the match over Dave Hodge. The 8 box gives him a 120 and a 3-string total of 372. A 7-pin win for Jeff Surette over Dave Hodge. And we'll come back to talk to our bowlers right after this when we continue from Leda Lanes in Nashua, New Hampshire with Candlepin Stars and Strikes on WNDS TV. Well, we had a terrific first match of our second ladder series with Jeff Surette beating Dave Hodge, who went right down to the wire.
We've been blessed the last couple of weeks with terrific matches, the tie last week, and this match was really Dave Hodge's most of the way, but to Jeff Surette, and he kind of exchanged leads going into the final of the game, and it was Jeff Surette finishing stronger, and that made all the difference by 7 pins.
379 to 372. First, let's bring our runner-up up this afternoon, Dave Hodge from Methuen, Massachusetts. Dave? Check for $150 for being runner-up. We have $125 in bonus money, another $50 for having the high string in the match. It's a crazy game, this game of Candlepin bowling.
It's a tough loss. I mean, he's a great bowler. I couldn't capitalize on a couple of easy ones, and just it was back and forth, but it's a great bowler, and I wish him best of luck.
You know how crazy this game is, yet you decided to go into the business of Candlepin bowling. Tell us about your venture.
Sabachu, I actually am co-owner of the Melrose Bowling Alley with one of my partners, Steve DeMeo, and place is kicking. I figured I have enough time to practice and stuff, so There's always better luck next time, though.
We'll look forward to seeing you next time, too, Dave. Thanks very much.
See you, Dave.
Dave Hodge, our runner-up here this afternoon. And now Jeff Surette will step up to lane 33 and bowl a bonus ball. We'll try to match him up with a winner at home.
It's like 5, Dick.
5 is the number.
5 pins, huh? All
Take
right.
our word for it. It was 5.
I wouldn't lie to you.
Dip into the bin and pull out a postcard, and the postcard is from
Bertha Snow, I think.
Bertha Snow from Arlington, Massachusetts, and Bertha picked 9, so it's not a winner. We have a consolation prize from N&R Trophies in Winchendon, Massachusetts. For Bertha Snow, we bring on Jeff Surette, our winner here this afternoon, with a 379 triple, $50 in bonus money, and that was a tough one. Come from behind match. First time on TV, a little butterflies at the start?
A little bit, not really.
But you got that first mark early in the match. I'm sure that settled you down quite a bit.
Yeah, that helped a little bit.
What about coming from behind and strategy, and what sort of things are going through your mind?
Just had to stay on the head pin and just keep plugging away.
Do you have any trouble one side or the other, either lane more favorable to you, 33 or 34?
A little trouble with 34, nothing major.
What kind of troubles do you have?
Just missing the head pin and off target.
But once you got the groove, it seemed to be okay, and you seem to be very comfortable, and it looked pretty easy from that point, Jeff. We'll look forward to seeing you again. Jeff Surette, our winner here this afternoon, and up the ladder we go.
Yes, indeed. There'll be more butterflies next week for Dad Tom Surette as we watch the action with Bob Betancourt. Haven't seen him for a couple of years. Jeff Bagia 2 weeks from today, and then Mike Morgan is at the top of the ladder to see who he faces. Stay tuned the next couple of weeks.
Again, it was a 379 to 372 final with Jeff Surette beating Dave Hodge, and up the ladder we go to Bob Betancourt. He'll be our match next week meeting Jeff Surette. And that'll do it from Leda Lanes in Nashua, New Hampshire. For Mike Morin and our entire WNDS TV crew from Leda Lanes, I'm Dick Lutz. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time on Candlepin Stars and Strikes. Remember, let's go bowling, everybody. So long.